Hello everyone. I hope you are all doing fine. Now, as you can see, my project is on ball object detection using MATLAB. The contents are divided into four basic parts: introduction on project and its application, project code, project result, and clips. And third part is important used functions, and the ending is conclusion. So let us begin with part one. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, you are.
Yes. So part one, introduction on project and its application. So the project is basically, it is a ball tracking technology to predict and track the movement of a ball. It is mainly used in sports like cricket, tennis, golf, etc. And there are a lot of examples you can use it. And the introduction is, in live games nowadays, visual tracking of a ball is very necessary to maintain fairness in games. Due to extreme conditions during a match, to execute a proper algorithm to run the program is very difficult. So today we are going to use different functions in a, say in in a similar program to get the optimum result. I will show you the next part. So the next part is project code and project results and kit. So this is the basic flow chart that we are going to do. We are going to start the program, create or select the tracker object, initialize tracking, track the object, and the program. So there are three main steps to my program: identification of the object, tracking the object. If it is lost, then reinitializing the tracking. So I'm really sorry for this inconvenience because my video is not running inside the PPT. I have to show it to you outside the PPT. So in the first part, we are using a histogram-based tracker. The histogram-based tracker uses a continuously adaptive mean shift algorithm for the object tracking. The tracked object is identified by the histogram of the object with, with its pixel values based on color and intensity. So we will do the first program. We are going to select the portion of the ball. We are doing this in RGB color space. Now, when the ball goes behind the paper, the programs loses tracking. You can see it loses the tracking. This is a this is a very big problem. So we need to change something in the program because when if the edges of the occlusions are not detected in the proper method, the tracking cannot go on. And as we can see in this RGB color space, it is not happening. So we can try using another color space. So in the next part, we are going to shift to YCPC color space. So we just give change the color space from RGB to YCPCR and then selected the object. Now it tracks the object up to the point it goes behind until the point. In the first portion, you can see that the program can read can detect the ball successfully, but when it goes behind the paper, the program fails to detect it. So we need to add some things. In the next part, here you can see that we used a ball tracking algorithm so that if the ball is found again, the tracking reinitializes in this portion. So we can run it again. And then you can see when the ball goes behind the paper and then it reappears, it can track it again. It depends on what kind of clip you are using. You can use either RGB color space to track the ball, or you can use YCBCR color space to track it. Now we did this all things with the histogram based track, and then now we can do another thing. We will use uh, yeah. Now we are using Cal Kalman function to track the ball. So before we start, uh, this is another common method of predicting an object's future position. The Kalman function, it predicts the future position of the ball. So thus by tracking it. So using the Kalman function, if we start, if you select the object, as you can see here, the green circle represents track location and the blue circle represents the detected location of the ball. It tracks it behind the paper also. If we see here again, uh, initially, and we select the ball and do it, initially the tracker takes some time to converge to the ball. So now we can try with another example. We can try with multiple objects. What if there are multiple objects in the scenario? Okay. We are gonna use Kalman filter on this also because histogram based tracking doesn't support multiple object tracking. So if you see here, so we can see that the example tracks the two balls crossing each other and maintains a unique identity for each of the ball during the tracking. You can see even when the ball crosses, the identities are maintained. Uh, I have tried a lot of examples on these things. I've tried it with a tennis ball, a football, a cricket ball, and three different balls in the same time. So my project has very, very limitations because it depends on fully the clip which is provided by to the program. So when I tried it with the tennis ball, the program ran properly, but in the end moment, it lost the ball because of due to less visual capability of the clip. The limitation were very simple because there was less clarity of the clip. I tried it with a football in the field. The program ran properly because there were plenty of lighting. The pixels were clear, so the conditions were very good for the program. So I tried with a cricket ball. It was a winning time video. There was less light. The program couldn't track the ball. It got behind an occlusion, then it completely lost the ball because the occlusion's edges were not properly visible. The program couldn't differentiate between the cricket ball and the occlusion's edges. So I tried with three different balls. The program with the Kelvin filter, I tried with three different balls. The program tracked all the balls properly, but as we saw with the two ball example, uh, it identified the balls separately, but in my time, three balls, when I tried with the three balls, it couldn't identify the balls separately. It got mixed up. So As you can see, the percentage of success was for the tennis ball 80%, and with the football 90%, and the cricket ball 50%. And with three different balls, it was mostly done, but in the end, it failed to identify the object separately. In the next part 3 is important use functions. Here are some important use functions that are used in the program I made. Here are some more functions. And the part 4, the conclusion. So as you can see that I've implemented ball tracking algorithm which successfully tracks balls. My program can track an object and even track it behind obstacles. I've used different methods so that for different conditions, my program can run easily. There are some limitations. The program is very complex. It has a lot of limitations to it. Suppose the occlusion, large search space, you have to select the object portion of the video that you want to track. If you accidentally select outside the ball, then the program would run. And this is a very big issue for my program. Noise, light issues, and the clarity of the video is very important for the program to run properly. And another big limitation is crossing paths. If the balls are crossing paths, sometimes the program fails to identify them properly. So the project has many limitations, not some limitations, many limitations. Due to occlusion, the program might not run properly. Secondly, you can see that the clip is very important for the program to run properly. And based on the clip, we can use RGB color space, YCBCR color space, or we can even omit the histogram-based tracker and use Kalman-based filter. It depends on the video we are having to run the program. So here are some references that I took.